a report just dropped that says that Donald Trump doesn't read. He doesn't read. And though that's probably not a shock to anyone on this channel watching right now, and it sounds a little funny, it actually is putting us in grave danger, according to this report that has gone largely unnoticed. But before we get to that, something happened a couple days ago that I think a lot of people just kind of rolled off their backs, and I don't want to let it drop, because what Donald Trump said about Joe Biden's cancer is awful. It's awful. Well, here it is.
Look, he's been a sort of a moderate person over his lifetime, not a smart person, but a somewhat vicious person, I will say. If you feel sorry for him, don't feel so sorry, because he's vicious. What he did with his political opponent and all of the people that he hurt a lot of people, Biden. And so I really don't feel sorry for him. But
this is obviously awful. It's not shocking, which is disturbing that it's not shocking that he would say this. But let's just not become numb to it. Let's not become numb to it, because Joe Biden is a good man. He is a political opponent, but it used to be that when things like this happened, we put politics aside and we recognize that we're all Americans, we're all human beings, and we're all just trying to do our best version of what we think this American experiment should look like. That's how it used to be. But now Donald Trump is saying that it doesn't feel bad that Joe Biden has cancer, because Joe Biden had a Justice Department that actually, followed the law and tried as best they could to bring people to justice. They never really got Donald Trump, and that's why we're here. But other people had actually really great takes on this too. Someone said, "What a disgustingly vile piece of shit. This is deplorable. Imagine if Biden said this about Trump. The media would be in a frenzy and Republicans will call him blatantly incompetent and draft impeachment. He's fucking sick." Someone else said, "This is why people will dance in the streets when it's your time, F-face." Yeah. Someone else said, "Avoid people who are purposely dreadful human beings. Don't sleep with them, don't marry them, don't work for them, don't hire them, and don't vote for them." Absolutely. I have to say that I appreciate that Donald Trump did this, because now I will not feel bad at all for not feeling bad when Donald Trump inevitably gets sick at an old age. We all know it's going to happen. It's kind of the way of the world that we all run our course. And I'm not going to feel bad now when that time comes for Donald Trump. I don't know if I was going to feel bad before, but I think he gave me permission to not feel bad. Now, before we get to that report about Trump not reading, I want to show you this ad from the Lincoln Project, because I think it's incredible. And I think it really does just set the tone for what is happening in this moment right now in our country with the lackeys and imbeciles that Donald Trump has put into the highest ranks of our government. Here it is.
Most of us want a government that does its job and leaves us alone. The Trump administration is failing. Trump turned Elon Musk loose with a chainsaw. And what happened? Chaos. Musk slashed jobs at the Federal Aviation Administration. Now, air travel is worse than ever.
Newark International Airport experienced its third major equipment outage in less than 2 weeks over the weekend, causing problems not only in the New York area, but airports across the country.
Trump put a longtime heroin addict kook in charge of our nation's health. It's a clown show.
The country's deadly measles outbreak is getting worse.
New cases of the bird flu are raising alarms among health officials.
Trump put a Fox News talking head with a drinking problem in charge of America's defense, texting attack plans on his personal phone.
The Pentagon loses another $70 million fighter jet.
What's Donald Trump doing when he should be protecting our families? He's selling the Trump meme coin.
Trump's meme coin surged 50% yesterday. Why? Well, the president offered to host its top holders for a private dinner in Washington.
All we wanted was a government that worked. What did we get? Corruption and incompetence. Donald Trump. It's just not working.
Really good, right? I do think that is the crux of it, that we have people in office who have no business being there, and Donald Trump, who is our president, also doesn't want to do anything that the president's supposed to do, which is what this report is about. Now, before we get to that from the Daily Beast, I just want to remind you that this isn't new information. Pete Davidson from SNL has alleged that Donald Trump, not only that he doesn't read, he can't read.
He's like, he doesn't really know how to read.
For real.
Yeah, and he loves to improv.
Yeah.
So during like the table read, he like before, like, we were gonna before he had to read each line, and he's the host, so he's at everything.
Yeah.
He would go, I'm not gonna say this. I think I'm gonna say it the way I want to say it. Is that okay? Is that okay, Lauren? Is it everything? And everybody's like, what? And then this is my favorite part is there was a sketch that we wrote where he's at Disneyland with his daughter, and the line is, all right, let's get out of here. Turkey legs? Like, let's go get turkey legs? And he doesn't know how to read. So he went, all right, let's get out of here, turkey legs. He called his daughter turkey legs.
Yeah, so this report shouldn't be a surprise, but like I said, what's in here is perhaps funny, but the outcome of what this all means, not so much. So here's the report. Tulsi Gabbard wants Fox News to feed Trump top secret intel because he doesn't read. Here we go. Director of National Security Tulsi Gabbard wants to turn President Donald Trump's daily intel briefings into Fox News type broadcasts because he, quote, doesn't read. Gabbard is hoping to add animations and more dynamic multimedia elements to Trump's president's daily briefs, or PDBs, to fit his viewing habits and hold his attention. 5 people with knowledge of the discussion told NBC News. Gabbard also reportedly consulted with current and former intelligence officials on bringing in a Fox News producer and host to reshape the PDBs, which are usually text and image based for national security reasons, to deliver the intel in broadcast form. NBC News reported that the process could involve granting the Fox News team security clearance to access classified information. So they're going to try to turn his daily briefings into Fox News reports, and they're actually bringing in Fox News producers to make it happen because the President of the United States can't or won't or doesn't read. It goes on. The problem with Trump is that he doesn't read. He's on broadcast all the time, meaning he's watching TV all the time. The White House, for their part, said this is libelous garbage from unnamed sources. President Trump has assembled a world-class intelligence team who he is constantly communicating with and receiving real-time updates on all pressing national security issues. Well, unfortunately, that is not true, because here is what the Daily Beast says. PDBs are crucial decision-making tools for sitting presidents, but Trump has only taken the briefings 14 times. 14 since he became president. Less than once a week on average, NBC News reported. The average is less than that of predecessors Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who took 90 and 63 respectively in the same time frame. In his first term, Trump took 55. So I just want to remind you all that one of the reasons why they think 9/11 might have happened is because George W. Bush, it was in his PDB, his daily briefing, about the attack that it could potentially happen from terrorists. They laid it all out in his personal daily briefing. Did George Bush take that briefing that day? No. So these things are incredibly important. And I just kind of personally believe that this should be a bigger deal than, I don't know, whether or not Joe Biden was aging out of office.
Okay.
And by the way, it's not that he just doesn't read. He really just can't read. Watch some of this.
As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
What happens with Donald Trump is they actually write his speeches that they have 1 or 2 syllables. That's it. But this person, that's what he does. And so they had to put it into his speech, and he just can't handle it.
As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic.
Yikes. Pete Hegseth is even like, my God. And he also had this glitch a few days ago.
Such as the ultra-processed foods, over-medicalization and over-prescription and widespread exposure to potentially toxic chemicals.
So yeah, it's obvious that there is something going on with Donald Trump. He was also at West Point, where he said that he spoke at Ohio State, where he was like, I gave a great speech at Ohio State. The only problem is it was at the University of Alabama. So Donald Trump is clearly not all there. He either can't, doesn't, or won't read, and it is putting us all in danger. It's putting us all in danger, and we need to talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit like in the video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.